I'm Gretchen Rubin, and this is the Happiness Project. The pigeon of discontent for this week is my stuff. I have a room filled with things that I need to get rid of, but every time I go there, I find some excuse not to toss things. Now, clutter is one of these things that seems like a very trivial issue, but for some reason it matters to people's happiness more really than it should. And for most of us, outer order contributes to inner calm. And so one of the things that's important is to figure out a way to get rid of the stuff that you don't need or that you don't want or that you don't use and get it out of your house so you don't have all this clutter accumulating. But it's hard once something comes into your house to get rid of it. And in fact, you should be very wary of letting anything into your house that you haven't actually super decided that you want. Accepting things for free, hand-me-downs, this kind of thing. Be very wary, because once you own it, something happens which is called the endowment effect. And it turns out that once we have something, we value it more than we did before we had it. And so the stuff that you have feels more valuable to you just because it's yours. And so once it's in your house, it can be hard to get it out of your house and to let go of it. And so there's a couple things that you can do. One is every time you clear clutter, you have to make sure that you don't consider yourself finished until whatever it is that you've identified has moved on to its way. And one time, because I love helping my friends clear clutter and actually will often force myself on them to help clean their closets, I had a friend where we filled like 5 giant garbage bags with giveaway clothes. And I walked out of her house and there were the bags in the hallway. And I came back a month later and the bags were still there because she just, even though she'd cleared the clutter, she hadn't actually gotten them out of her apartment. And you're not going to get that ecstatic feeling of clutter clearing until the stuff is actually out of your place and on its way. So make sure that when you've done the strategy to get stuff out, that you actually complete it and don't let it stall out just in some different location in your apartment or house. And to do that, it's very helpful when you start out to know exactly where the things are going. Is there a friend? Is there somebody who wants the hand-me-downs? Is there a thrift store? Is there a used bookstore that you're going to donate to? And actually, I have found for myself that when I know where stuff is going to go, it's much easier for me to let go of it. Because even though, say, for example, my children's old board books, when I was thinking about giving them away in sort of in general terms, it was very hard for me to imagine letting go of them because they were precious to me because my children had once loved them, but we didn't need them anymore. But once my sister had a baby, then it was very easy for me to say like, oh, well, he will enjoy these books much more than my daughters will. And so it was very easy for me to pack 2 giant boxes and mail them to her because I knew where they were going. And by the same token, if you have clothes and you can imagine to yourself, well, these are clothes that I'm not wearing this winter coat, but I can imagine that somebody else can put it to good use, then it allows you, it countermands that endowment effect that makes you want to hang on to things because you can imagine them going on and living a happy and useful life outside of your own house. So the resolution for this week is to identify the place where your clutter is going.